Hey everyone, this is Dr. Eric Fields, the psychologist turned weight loss coach. A couple weeks ago or so, I really laid out my theory on why so many people struggle with overeating and weight loss. And my theory essentially is a psychological one that the reasons that people struggle so much with compulsive overeating and can't seem to lose the weight or keep it off if it is ever lost is because of the psychological functions that this serves them and the psychological issues they're using food to try to address. So recently, some of the weight loss drug companies, the miracle weight loss drugs that have come out, have been doing some preliminary research into the effectiveness of these drugs. And what it seems like they're finding is these drugs are effective in terms of helping you lose weight and maintain that weight loss. However, when people come off the drugs, they tend to regain the weight. That is what they're finding in their preliminary studies. So, of course, they're preliminary, and it would be premature to make any solid conclusions right now about the weight loss drugs. But it's interesting to me because, on the one hand, it does support my theory. Listen, if weight gain, if you being overweight is the only issue, it's just that you're overweight and this is causing you low self-esteem and other issues in your life, and that is just the problem. That is the only problem that you have. And then you lose the weight if from a weight loss drug, let's say, and then you come off the weight loss drug, it stands to reason that once this problem has been removed, you're good to go. So why the weight regain? The fact that a lot of people are regaining weight once they come off these drugs tells us that this weight loss drug is addressing symptoms, not the actual problem. And that's fine. There are many, many drugs out there that address symptoms, but don't actually, treat or fix rather the underlying issue. Think of the diabetes medications, especially if you're talking about type 1 diabetes. So, and then there's many different kinds of medical health issues or conditions where you're taking medicine primarily to treat the symptoms. So, okay, we can at least conclude that, right, from what we're hearing from these studies. Because if these weight loss drugs were attacking the cause of your weight gain, then once you lost the weight, that should be it, right? Because it's like it attacked the cause and it fixed it. And so therefore, when you come off the medication, you should not be regaining the weight. So it's treating the symptoms. Fine. Now, that doesn't necessarily prove my point yet, because the cause of your weight gain could be physical or psychological, right? I mean, there aren't too many other reasons or categories of reasons for why somebody would be so overweight. It's either a physical reason or it's a psychological reason, right? And if you want to talk about different life circumstances and so forth, that doesn't really hold up because whatever your life circumstances are, I can absolutely tell you that there are plenty of people with similar challenging life circumstances who are not overweight. So that doesn't really fly as, a good reason to explain the weight gain. Certain circumstances combined with either a physical vulnerability of cause or psychological vulnerability of cause absolutely can contribute, but in and by themselves, not enough to explain the weight gain and the difficulty losing the weight. So we're really left with, okay, this is a symptom, and what is causing it? Physical or psychological? For those of you who have gone to the doctor and have had your different hormone levels checked and gotten a full, complete medical workup, which I would advise anybody to do first and foremost if they've been struggling with weight loss for a long period of time. I mean, that's a no-brainer, right? That has to be done. Of course, that's the simplest thing to do. You go to the doctor and you tell them you want a full workup, maybe an endocrinologist who specializes in hormones and that kind of thing and looking at different levels. That is essential. If you go to a doctor and they cannot find in the many, many tests that they do any physical reason for your difficulty losing weight, some of you may have had a physical, but it wasn't as thorough as you need. You really want a full, thorough, comprehensive workup. And so for some of you, this video could be very helpful just to get you to think more about that and say, maybe the doctor missed something. Maybe I didn't go to the right specialist. Maybe I should give this another go and really see if there is something physically with me that is leading to this weight loss issue. If you have done that, and I imagine many people who are following me, they have done all of that. Because listen, if you have done all of that kind of workup and you know that the reason you're having trouble losing weight is because of physical reasons, you're probably not going to follow me or listen to my philosophy much because it doesn't apply to you, right? You're going to be helped out or treated by a medical professional, a doctor, somebody who can help get those hormone levels back, in a functional way, somebody who can treat you in the right way to address the underlying medical or physical causes, right? And that is really the purview of a medical doctor, which I am not. I am a doctor of psychology. So if you have gotten the full workup and you know all the tests have come back fine, you've checked everything, and there is no reason, all your organs are functioning the way they should, all your levels are where they should be or pretty much close to where they should be. Maybe something's a tad bit askew, but not enough to explain the excessive weight gain and the difficulty losing the weight. Then by default, your weight loss issues have to be psychological, right? So these weight loss drugs and the research that they're doing with them are really starting to prove what I've been saying all along, that the weight loss, first and foremost, is a symptom. I'm sorry, the weight loss problem is first and foremost a symptom. It is not the underlying cause. And assuming that you've gotten a full medical workup and no doctor can find anything to explain your weight loss struggles, what's left? It has to be psychological. And so, what I'm really trying to preach here is because the timing is really important right now, because here's what I'm fearful of. I'm fearful that too many people are saying, oh my God, these drugs seem to be a miracle. I just have to do these drugs and I'm fine. And many of you may be listening to my video right now and hearing about a lot of people coming off these drugs and gaining their weight back and just concluding to yourself, so just keep taking the medicine. What do I care? Like, I don't care. You know, some of the medicine you only have to get like a shot, I think, once every couple weeks, a few weeks. No big deal to look good. I mean, right? That's a small price to pay. Who the heck wants to do all this psychological work and personal growth and trying to like figure themselves out? And oh my gosh, therapy and you know, working through your psychological issues, it takes a lot of work. So who wants to do that, right? A shot every several weeks and you're good. But here's the thing. If I'm right, and I think I am, and your issue is really psychological, here's my major point. Even if you lose the weight and you continue to take these miracle weight loss drugs and maintain the weight loss, you are not going to be truly happy. That's my main point. Will you still have body image issues? Probably not. Will your self-esteem be a little boosted because you look better? Yeah, probably. Will you feel a bit better about yourself? Sure. Is it going to be enough? I don't think so. I don't think so. Because if the reason why you have been compulsively overeating for so long is due to underlying psychological issues, then that tells me that this is something very significant that is in dire need of fixing. Just because it's been going on for so long and has been so unmanageable and difficult for you to overcome. That speaks to the enormity of the problem. If you've gained a little weight over the last month or so, and you've never really tried to lose it, then what I'm saying right now may not be relevant at all. Who I'm talking to here are people who have had weight loss struggles for years and years and years. They have been significantly overweight and cannot seem to lose the weight no matter what diet or exercise program or weight loss program they try. And they have had a full workup from a medical doctor, and there are no physical reasons or causes that can be found. For those of you, I am not saying don't try the weight loss drugs, because sure, why not? But what I'm saying is, if you're thinking that this is going to be the one-stop panacea for all of your issues, it will not be. I'm telling you, it won't be. You will lose the weight and you will get a mental boost from that effect, and it's not going to last because you never dealt with the underlying issues. Unless all of your underlying issues, all of your underlying psychological issues are related to being overweight. However, think about this. If all of your underlying issues were simply because you were overweight, then the solution is so simple. Just lose the weight, right? Eat less, move more. I mean, you should be super motivated if this is the only obstacle that you have, just the fact that you're overweight. You should be super motivated to lose the weight. There should never be self-sabotaging going on. There should never be, an issue of willpower. I mean, the motivation should be off the charts because this is the only issue you have, and there's no function to it or reason. It just happened, and now it's causing all these problems. But you know that this isn't the case. You know that there has to be a function to this and a reason, or you wouldn't self-sabotage all of your past weight loss attempts and efforts. And the fact that it's so difficult to stay motivated to do this means there's a fear of taking away this overeating because you are not going to have this crutch anymore to help you deal with whatever it was helping you deal with. Folks, try the weight loss drugs if you want. That's fine. But listen, keep your expectations realistic. This is not the all-encompassing fix for your life. Losing the weight is not the all-encompassing fix for your life. You have things that you need to work out and work through. And these things that are housed here are preventing you truly from being the best version of yourself. Not just preventing you from losing weight, preventing you from being the best version of yourself. And if you don't fix that, then you're still going to be broken. This is Dr. Fields, and I will have more to say about this at a later time. I wish all of you the best success in your weight loss journeys, and please get the right help.